just something like, hello, we're all from Merrimack College here. And this is my STEM student, Lavi, who has just been an incredible STEM student. She was at the North Reading STEAM Night last STEM week, and
thank
we had
you.
so much fun there. And we thought, Dan asked us, he said, could you share a little bit, some resources for families? And we thought, why don't we think through that and bring some good things? And so we thought that Lavi could share a little bit about our STEM Ed program so you'd have a sense of what it is that we do there. And then we'll move into resources for you as parents and teachers.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Gatling. So as Dr. Gatling mentioned, I am a STEM Ed major. I'm a senior here at Merrimack, and I just want to run through a little bit of what the STEM Ed program looks like. So there's a lot of opportunities for STEM Ed students. If you're new to the STEM field, don't be discouraged because there's a ton of programs that you can join that can help you get on your feet. For example, the MINS program and the STEAM program. The MINS program is, sorry, I'm just pulling up my notes, Merrimack Institute for New Tech Support. So
teachers.
It's kind of like workshops that you go to and you get certificates for it, and you can go towards your, I'm blanking on the name right now.
The PDPs.
Yes, the PDPs. So one of the workshops that is going on right now is diversity. So you go to a workshop and you just talk about how diversity is important in your classroom and how it impacts your students. And that's like one of the things. Another program that is at Merrimack is the STEAM program. Now, I'm not a part of this, but it's like the STEM program, but it incorporates arts into science, technology, engineering, and math. And then what else? So one of the classes I'm in right now is a STEM capstone class. And sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
No, I thought you were asking me something.
I think it was just a little feedback.
And one of the classes I'm in right now is a STEM 3000 class, and we do all sorts of things in there. So last week I did a niche partitioning activity where we looked at different species of birds and how they interact with each other and what sort of materials that they eat and how they exist cohesively. So I don't know if I'm forgetting anything. So that's just some of the things that we do.
Yes. And so just one thing about that program, often when we have the STEM Ed students come in, they are really strong in 2 or 3 areas, but there's one that they're a little bit weak and unsure about. And they come in cohorts, and so they kind of work together through classes. There's a math help center, and so they find someone that they align with, and they meet with them over and over. But when we've been doing our NSF applications, the thing that surprised us, and we didn't even realize, they were so amazed. They said, you are the only program in the entire country that has a true STEM program the way we envision it, to where STEM students take courses in science and engineering and in education. Most schools have like a physics and education certificate and a chemistry and education certificate. But our STEM students are truly STEM. They're golden. And so anyway, for students to come into it, we're doing an NSF Noise grant that we've been applying for. We're hoping that this time takes, where we would be bringing students from community colleges to come to Merrimack, do those programs, and then go teach in the field, and they get everything repaid. And so it's just such an incredible time for STEM at Merrimack College. And we have the observatory and so many things going on around that. So anyway, to see us as a resource.
And I feel like what makes Merrimack stand out a lot is that we take those human development classes and science classes and we incorporate it into one class instead of taking 2 different classes, and you don't really know how to connect those ideas. So I feel like Merrimack really has like a strong connection with that.
Nope.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and it's nice to hear like that you guys are definitely on the leading edge of, trying to develop a program, how you have a program that, is making all those STEM connections, and now to have a STEM and a STEAM. So I'm sure students who are doing the STEAM program are getting something unique as well, it sounds like.
Yes. And so
awesome.
With that, now that you have a sense of who we are, now we wanted to discuss a few things about thinking about teaching our children, teaching these students in this time of COVID. Like, how do we think through this? And so something, as I was really thinking about this, I saw this morning that one of a dear colleague down at Burlington Science Center said, she said, we have a PSA read out to everyone. It's that the students are not behind. They are where they are. The students are not behind. They are where they are. Repeat after me, she says. The students are not behind. And the only reason I'm saying that, because even as a science educator working with my students, I'm like, oh, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. We need to be so much further. But there's so much that we're learning in this time that I think we're going to carry on. And so I kind of wanted to give you a few examples and some of the things I've been learning in my professional developments over the past 2 or 3 weeks. And so in saying that, what we're learning is that parents are much more involved with their student learning. And some teachers are saying they have a 300% more involvement of parents. And so we need to embrace that aspect of it. Another thing that I'm hearing from educators all across Massachusetts is, and even Texas, because some people sneak into our trainings here in Massachusetts, that parents or that students who are remote, so you have students who are hybrid, if you're hybrid, you have the students who have the materials that you may have in your classroom, but the remote kids are coming up with some really innovative ways all on their own, sometimes with parents, sometimes with not. But those become even deeper questions about, well, we only had this here, but you had that at home. And having those conversations about why did that happen is really powerful. And so
I feel like it also brings in like new content standards as well. So it really incorporates different things with remote learning.
oh, definitely. And then the whole piece about parents and teachers and children really thinking through about seasonal changes. Seasonal changes are grounded in so many cultures and in our environment. And what is it that's changing out there? And how can we make that connect in with the standards and really think about questions that you can engage in together? When we did the a biodiversity blitz, we had the in class, we were out in the field identifying things with iNaturalist, but then we had our remote students doing it in Vermont and New York and everywhere else, and then we were comparing, what are we finding? And iNaturalist has so many resources for us. And so thinking through that piece, we have, once I'm going to share one thing that I think is just phenomenal. So I want to present now.
And the thing Dr. Gatling was just talking about was in the STEM 3000 class.
Yes.
Just wanted to clarify that.
With my own students then later. And so we were able to see it too. And so
okay. I did not know that.
Go here. I can't share. Grant permission, open system preferences. I'm open to, okay, let's see if I can, now let's see if I can try. Sorry.
And the thing with the simulations, you could be anywhere in the world and still be able to participate in classes, because most of the simulations that we do in class is you go out and do the activity and then you come back and talk with the class about what your findings and what you sorry, I'm like blanking about your findings and how it might have differed from someone else in your class.
Are you okay with sharing, Anne? Are you able to get access from me?
Well, I just added Google Chrome, so let's see if it'll let me do it now. It's telling me I don't have permission, but it's from my own computer. It's not from you.
Go into, if you hover over the ball. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I did it. It just took me a minute. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
So this link, this resource right here, I feel like no matter who you are, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a teacher or you are a parent, this particular link, let me see if it's going.
There we go.
Yes, thank you. Do you see it now?
Yep, I see it.
The NSTA Daily Do. These particular activities, you can look for any age level. There's for families. How do kites fly? It's going to be really windy this weekend. After the rain stops, maybe we can get some kites out. And it has everything. It is so beautifully organized in that what they do is take to an introduction. Today it tells you everything. It tells you a playlist. It has a book by Gail Gibbons, who is an incredible local author. And then you have Experience the Phenomena. And here they have a phenomena, a story for you to think about. And then they have materials if you need to build one. They have directions here of how different kites you can build, and then explore the kites before heading outdoors. Observe them, turn to a partner and share what they notice. And then it has whether you're dealing with the class or your own parents. Kite safety, fly the kite. What do you notice? What are our wanderings? Create a model, draw a model. What are the parts that are in common between all these pieces? And then the investigation. Here are questions to ask. Here are returns to catch the wind, all about the kites. And then there's more resources, etc. And then it tells you more about how to make it even deeper or start a discussion. And then other web seminars that might support your understanding and different activities connected to this.
And we take some of these lessons and incorporate them into classrooms when we go on pre-practicums or practicums.
Yeah, they're very robust lessons. They have.
Yeah.
They are just incredible. And then the ones for families. So they're grounded in the NGSS theory. They are grounded. Let me come back to you guys. I'll stop presenting now. They are just, the next generation science standards really encourage us to start with a phenomena and then say, what do you notice? What do you notice about this caterpillar with horns on it? When my daughter and I were biking toward Wire Hill yesterday, or 2 days ago, and we said, what do you notice about? Well, what do you think those little horns are? And look at all the fur and the colors. Well, maybe let's try it on iNaturalist. So we put it on iNaturalist and said, oh, it's going to be this kind of a moth. And then we talked about that, and we said, well, what kind of habitat? Why is he on this board bridge instead of on the field right beside it? So all these questions. So the phenomena helps you to then start having questions and wanderings. And now, well, let's go. What kinds of things could we investigate? Let's have all kinds of questions. Which one of those can we investigate? So then you take that, you take all the Post-its and you put the ones that you investigate in the middle, whether you're family or teaching. And then, well, that one we can test. Let's take this little caterpillar and let's put it and see which kind of things. Does he go more toward these weeds or toward these rocks or toward the soil? Whatever it is you want to do. But whatever it is that you see, it's okay to stop and wonder and question and then see, is there a daily do? Or PBS has incredible resources for families and children around any topic you want. And so anyway, just that, if I had to think about one thing, and I know some of the people writing those daily do's, they are incredible. Sean Musselman down in Burlington has done a lot of these daily do's. He's just passionate about getting families and teachers to really work together to think through things. So that would be my suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's an amazing resource.
Yes, and that one I can give you 10,000 more, but that one to me is truly, it just encapsulates everything and brings it together to common things we do as families and as teachers. Now, for parents locally, one thing that Dan wanted to say, what are other things that we can do? Well, Sean Musselman emailed me 2 days ago, and he said, well, my family went to the Museum of Science over the holiday weekend. It was very quiet, he said. Hand sanitizer was everywhere. Entry was timed, but we got a nearly private run of the Pixar temporary exhibit. So something to think about there. There are trails in New Hampshire. You have to get tickets in advance, but we were on it, and we had a lot of fun and on a trail up there last weekend. Regionally, he told me some beautiful trails. And so actually, maybe I should share my screen again so people can see it as I'm talking about it. Do you think that'd be good?
That'd be great.
Yeah, probably.
So let me do my entire screen again. And I'm just going to show the doc we're working off of so that you can see some of these that I'm talking about. So we have, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So regionally, he said Lynn Fells Woods. It's a short climb up to Wright's Tower with wonderful views of Boston. Mary Cummins Park in Burlington has a makeover by the trustees and a boardwalk to the wetlands, and a newly landscaped pollinator gardens. And on the weekends, the local RC Airplane Club is on site using their flyers. They love socially distanced company and show off their homemade flyers and are happy to discuss physics and engineering behind them to anyone who will listen. I mean, think about that. REI has trail guides to North Andover. Willard's Woods in Lexington has boardwalks and crisscrossing meandering woods. Several families of great horned owls nested there over the spring and summer and can be heard and seen hunting in broad daylight. Wow. The
You
horned
want
owls.
to know, you want to
That's
know what I was thinking about?
yes.
You could take some of the NSTA lessons and incorporate those into these trails.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
That just like came to my mind.
Good idea. That's a great idea.
And all the NSTA website is all free, correct? So it's easily accessible.
Oh, yes, that do now is for everyone.
Yeah.
So Break Heart Reservation has paved handicap trails. Some are a little steep. In North Andover here, we have Ward Reservation. My family calls it the Solstice Rocks, but there's 704-acre fields, lots of birds. There's a boardwalk with a guided wetland. So you can, each stop tells you a little bit about different plants in this wetland. There's beautiful views of Boston and short and long trails. Wire Hill has many trails too. It's all along the Cochichewich Lake, and there's many owls and birds of prey, coyotes, you name it. Middlesex Fells has trails and canoe rental down there south of you guys. And then important links, I'm just going to kind of keep going here with what I have.
Sure.
Wild Wednesdays, Wendy Pavlik at the Burlington Science Center, which is actually part of a school, not something we can visit. But she has these 30-minute things that she does for Boston Public Schools, but then they post those all the time. So I will put the link in here when she sends it to me. For all of us, teachers and students and families, Mass STEM Week has this beautiful schedule where you can look each day. It starts tomorrow, I believe. Let me see. You can see Mass STEM Week, and everything has a link and you can get to it. So you can see all these incredible, it's almost a little overwhelming, but they've really put it all together. Beautiful.
That's a great list to share of the resources for STEM Week.
Right. And then for our STEM Week, actually, I'll do that one last, only because I want to just talk briefly. Teacher professional development was one thing that Dan wanted us to talk about, right, Dan?
Sure, touch on it. Yeah, it's always important.
Locally, as Lavi was talking about, we have the MINTS program, and if you want to be on that MINTS, send us an email. We have a grant from an alumni from the 60s, and she said teachers need help, especially when they're new, and so we have these almost monthly, and we have hundreds of teachers that come to these, and we kind of just opened it up to everyone. Her grant, her money has given us so much. And so that is on every topic. We have a diversity. We do it on science and English language learners, you name it. It's always available to anyone. And they're typically about an hour, and then you have resources along with it, and you can email the presenters all the time. Digital computer science, digital literacy. We have an incredible LibGuide that has everything. We have resources from all over the country about how to do digital literacy safely for families and teachers and do it at each grade level. Here's resources for computer science, computational thinking, electronic books that we have offered, ditch and pitch sessions, all kinds, Scratch, anything you could think of for resources.
That's awesome. That's great. I'll have to definitely share that with my teachers.
Yeah, and then the ERC materials, when we get out of COVID, we have sets of everything. Makey's, we have B-bots, blue bots, dashes, M-bots, Canakits, you name it, roots. We have everything and we can check it out. And so that we're trying to figure out if we can do it and sterilize it. But anyway, for sure, once COVID's over, we will have the world for you. And there's sets of 6 with 6 iPads with all the apps you need. And you can have it for 2 weeks. And we also have a Mars map, the huge Mars map that takes up the entire gym. And what we do, people rent out that, and then they rent out the bots, and you can have the kids code the bots all over from one crater to another, etc.
Awesome, very
cool.
So
I have people all over the state who check that out for their festivals and things. Once we can have those things again. But anyway,
and you can also take these robots into classrooms for your practicum as well, so you can use coding as a lesson plan.
Oh, so that's a great idea.
Yeah, you have our STEM ed students in your schools for student teaching. Hey, you've got the world open to you too. But you can have you can check these out as any teachers. We have this open all the time. And then I was thinking about professional development. With one thing about online, it's made professional development be incredible for teachers. So
Exactly.
WestEd has a wonderful online thing where they've been doing webinars about keep teaching science. Don't give up on science because you think it's too hard. And so I've been listening to this quite a bit, and I go back to pieces to kind of hear it. But they have all kinds of trainings. But even more locally, um, we have the Wade Institute, and I spent all 4.5 hours last Saturday doing the training. They sent me the entire box of everything I needed with lamps and solar panels and everything I needed. So they do all kinds of professional development for
That's
teachers.
awesome.
It's just incredible. And they are working together with all kinds of programs, National Grid, New England Biolabs, Genzyme, etc. They are the most passionate group of educators who really try to meet teachers where they are. And so this and the lieutenant governor wants to see the schools who are implementing this next week. So we were getting the training, and so then it's going to be there for next week. But they have more fall institutes and things, so look that up.
That's
And then
great.
we have need in my MIT training on Tuesday night. All the teachers were talking about the need projects, and the need projects have all kinds of training for all over the country. And you can just look, almost every day they have some sort of training. But the one that's for Massachusetts that's coming up that all the teachers were so excited about was this one I think it's in December. But when I registered for it, they said, where do we send your kit? They send you, and the teachers were comparing the different kits they've gotten from this resource
That's
over
cool.
the past few things. So I'm
That's
telling you,
great.
there are so many beautiful things out here. And then WPI just finished an incredible Sam I Am, where she's putting engineering design challenges connected to books. And they're beautiful. And my students are going to do some as part of that and make some more. And then finally, I hope this is all doing okay. And
No,
then
this
if you
is
have
great.
questions, Dan, I will end for what I have right now anyway, with our Moon over Merrimack, which is next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's 30 minutes of talk and 15 minutes of question and answer. So the first night is exploring Mars with perseverance. And so it is phenomenal what he's going to talk about as far as where we're going to go. And each one of these has, when you click into it, if I can figure out where I can click into it.
I don't think the website's ready for that yet. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
never mind. I spoke too soon.
Pyrush, he has a little baby boy. He's so precious. But anyway, 3 months old. He's busy. But he's going to talk all about Mars and perseverance. Do you hear that feedback? Anyway, so then we're going to have supplemental resources for each of the conversations. And so when we look at space here, space will be with our observatory, and they're going to be Saturn and the moon and talking about all of that. And that's Christopher Dustin and Sam, one of our former STEM students. And then we have Denizens of the Dark. And so the Denizens of the Dark, we have Cindy Carlson, who's a civil engineer professor. I'm STEM Ed. And then CJ is our research librarian for STEM. And so CJ's doing her PhD on flying squirrels. And so she's going to tell us all about flying squirrels. It's a phenomenal research she's doing. And then Cindy and I are going to be talking more about and then our supplemental resources. We're going to be talking about trying to help families get a sense. Let me quit sharing here. We want families to realize the power of these apex creatures in our woods at night and what they're doing and how they help us. And so let me get back to here. Here we go. And how they really, they're really good to be in our environment. And so we're going to learn more about. We have camera trappings that the STEM students are doing. In fact, Lavi and I are going to put up with Christy McDowell, our instructor. We're going to put the camera trap stuff, and they will be recording anytime there's a movement in the night. It captures an image, and so that image.
That's awesome.
So we have martins, we have coyotes, I forget some of the others. Rabbits.
Yeah,
Anyway,
rabbits, squirrels. And we're
yeah.
doing all this today.
And so, but we have tagged the coyotes. We know the coyotes have a huge range from Merrimack way down through Harold Parker, all the way down toward you guys in North Reading. All kinds of things. And then what my students have been finding, and Lavi's going to help us out with the resources, we have citizen science projects where you can look at coyotes or you can look at camera trappings from around the world. There's so much data that scientists don't have time for. What can you find? Maybe you can find a Tasmanian devil in Australia and those camera trappings, and that helps the scientist. There's so many citizen science projects for each of these programs on our Moon over Merrimack that you can find, and then they're just incredible opportunities, and I will stop there.
They are. That website looks great, and definitely, I'm gonna definitely share all these links out widely, not only with our school community, but this video as well. Where share out how well you've spoken about all of these opportunities. And this week goes so quick, so I got to get all these things out as quick as I can for people to try to take advantage. It's almost like they should make 2 weeks of STEM week, just to catch up with us. I mean, because you can only do so much, and but I think you've definitely presented some amazing insights into your program, and the value of kind of bringing all these disciplines together, which is very exciting. And I think you've also, you've shared a number of tremendous resources. That STEM Week website is an amazing resource. Moon over Merrimack is awesome. I think last year I really got a chance to really learn what that was all about, and I thought that was amazing. And it really, I can tell you guys are really, really growing your STEM network out of the program at Merrimack. So that sounds great.
Yes. Oh, and one last thing. We have a digital literacy computer science certificate that we have built from the ground up. The state loves it. It's just a matter of us getting it out, and I will let Dan know the second it is out to go.
Awesome. No, that is awesome too, for teachers who are interested in, pursuing the next level licensure with computer science teaching. That's amazing. I'm looking forward to that. Great. Well, thank you very much. I don't want to take up any more of your valuable time. I appreciate all your sharing. And I look forward to sharing all this out, and I'll encourage people to reach out to you guys directly with any questions they have.
Yeah. We would love that. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much
for the opportunity, Dan.
No problem.
Have a fun STEM week.
You too. Thank you. We'll connect again soon.
Yes, definitely. Take care.
Bye-bye.